South Korea dazzles with its breathtaking blend of ancient palaces and sleek modern skyscrapers, where centuries-old traditions meet cutting-edge innovation. The country's vibrant food culture, from sizzling street markets to elegant restaurants, draws people from all over the world. Beyond the city lights, South Korea's natural beauty shines, majestic mountains, tranquil rivers and cherry blossoms that paint the landscape each spring. It's a land where history and progress coexist, creating a unique atmosphere that captivates visitors and locals alike. Yet beneath this surface beauty lies a peninsula divided by history and politics. South Korea thrives as a beacon of democracy and economic power, while North Korea remains isolated, its future uncertain and unpredictable. The contrast is stark. One side bustling with life and opportunity, the other shrouded in secrecy and hardship. For more than 70 years, families have been separated by an invisible line, longing for reunions that are all too rare. The pain of separation lingers across generations, but so does the hope for peace, a hope that endures in the hearts of millions. The nuclear standoff with North Korea is a constant backdrop to daily life, a reminder of the peninsula's fragile peace. Yet, South Koreans have learned to adapt, facing uncertainty with remarkable resilience and optimism. They continue to build their lives, pursue dreams, and celebrate moments of joy, refusing to let fear define their future. Today, in September 2025, a new approach is taking shape, one that emphasizes practical steps, open dialogue, and realistic goals, rather than impossible demands or empty promises. Leaders and citizens alike are seeking ways to bridge the divide, focusing on what can be achieved together. This shift is about people, not just politics. It's about reuniting families torn apart by conflict, ensuring the safety and well-being of communities, and creating opportunities for future generations to thrive in peace. It's also about sharing Korea's beauty and culture with the world, inviting visitors to experience its wonders, from historic palaces to breathtaking natural parks, and to witness the spirit of its people. Understanding this context helps visitors and observers appreciate not only the strength and perseverance of the Korean people, but also the urgency and importance of achieving lasting peace on the peninsula. As we explore this story together, we'll discover why this new chapter offers genuine hope for a peaceful future, one where families can be reunited, communities can flourish, and the shadow of conflict can finally be lifted. Let's embark on this journey to understand what makes this moment different, why it matters to all of us, and how the dream of peace on the Korean peninsula could finally become a reality. North Korea's nuclear program is the main source of tension on the peninsula. Kim Jong-un's regime has developed long-range missiles and dozens of nuclear bombs, pushing the world closer to crisis. The final technical hurdle, making warheads survive re-entry, may soon be overcome, raising the stakes for everyone. South Korea, with strong US support, remains safe and prepared, but the threat is real and growing. That's why the new government is determined to break the stalemate and open talks before the danger escalates. Ignoring the problem is no longer an option. South Korea's new strategy abandons the all-or-nothing demand for North Korea's immediate denuclearization. Instead, President Lee Myung proposes a freeze. North Korea would halt new nuclear production and missile tests. This doesn't eliminate existing weapons, but it stops the threat from growing and opens the door to future progress. The end strategy, exchange, normalization, denuclearization, prioritizes trust building and dialogue. By accepting a freeze, South Korea signals a willingness to negotiate and prevent further escalation. It's a pragmatic shift, aiming for stability now and a foundation for lasting peace. This approach offers hope, showing that creative diplomacy can break years of deadlock. The journey to peace starts with what's possible today. Every day that passes without decisive action, North Korea's arsenal continues to grow, not just in size, but in sophistication. With each new missile test, the risk to regional and global security intensifies. The world watches as the stakes rise and the window for effective intervention narrows. The consequences of inaction are not just theoretical, they are real and immediate, affecting millions of lives across the Korean peninsula and beyond. The longer the international community hesitates, the more emboldened North Korea becomes. Their confidence grows with each successful test, making future negotiations increasingly difficult. As their capabilities expand, so does their leverage at the bargaining table, reducing the chances for a peaceful resolution. The world cannot afford to let this momentum continue unchecked. A single miscalculation or misunderstanding could trigger a catastrophic conflict with devastating consequences for the entire region. The threat of nuclear proliferation is not just a distant possibility, it is a looming danger that could destabilize the global order. The world must act before the situation spirals out of control. Taking action now isn't just about Korea, it's about preventing a crisis that could ripple across continents. A freeze on North Korea's weapons program is a crucial step to safeguard not only the Korean people, but also the broader international community. South Korea's sense of urgency reflects the gravity of the situation. The stakes are simply too high to wait for a perfect solution. Every moment spent deliberating is a moment lost, and the risks only grow with time. That's why leaders from around the world are pushing for immediate talks. Their goal is to cap the danger, halt further escalation, and create the diplomatic space needed for lasting peace. The time for hesitation has passed. For travelers, residents, and families, this proactive stance offers reassurance. It shows that leaders are not just reacting, but actively working to keep the region safe and secure for everyone who calls it home. The time to act is now. Every second counts, and the world must come together to ensure a safer future for all. South Korea's plan breaks the problem into manageable steps, starting with a freeze. Once the freeze is in place and verified, the next phase, reduction, would see North Korea dismantle parts of its arsenal. Incentives like sanctions relief and aid would encourage cooperation. The ultimate goal, a nuclear-free peninsula, achieved through trust and gradual progress. This phased approach makes the daunting challenge of denuclearisation more realistic. Each small victory builds momentum for the next, turning hope into action. It's a roadmap for peace, grounded in dialogue and mutual respect. The journey is long, but this strategy offers the best chance for lasting stability. Sometimes personal relationships can break diplomatic deadlocks. President Lee believes former US President Trump's rapport with Kim Jong-un could restart stalled talks. Trump's historic meetings with Kim built a unique connection, and his upcoming visit to South Korea could be a turning point. South Korea is open to any deal that freezes North Korea's nuclear program, seeing it as a vital first step. Relying on personal diplomacy is risky, but with traditional methods failing, it's a chance worth taking. Reviving dialogue could de-escalate tensions and open a new path to peace. The Korean crisis is shaped by powerful neighbors, China and Russia. These two countries, sharing borders and deep historical ties with North Korea, play a pivotal role in the region's security dynamics. Their interests and actions often set the tone for how the world responds to tensions on the peninsula. North Korea's growing ties with both China and Russia complicate efforts to pressure Pyongyang. As North Korea strengthens its diplomatic and economic relationships with these neighbors, it gains leverage and support that can undermine international sanctions and diplomatic isolation. South Korea, meanwhile, faces its own set of challenges. It must carefully balance its long-standing security alliance with the United States, which provides military protection against its deep economic dependence on China, its largest trading partner. This delicate balance affects every major policy decision. President Lee walks a diplomatic tightrope, maintaining strong defense ties with the US, while also working to keep trade and diplomatic relations with China robust. Every move is watched closely by both allies and rivals, making diplomacy a constant balancing act. This balancing act is crucial for maintaining stability on the peninsula and for managing the ongoing threat posed by North Korea's unpredictable actions. The stakes are high, and any misstep could have serious consequences for peace and security. Any peace plan for the Korean peninsula needs at least some support from China and Russia, who have unique influence over the North. Their cooperation is essential for enforcing agreements and ensuring that North Korea remains engaged in dialogue. Constant diplomacy and open communication are essential. South Korea and its partners must work tirelessly to keep channels open, build trust and prevent misunderstandings that could escalate into conflict. The path to peace is global, not just local. The Korean crisis draws in countries from around the world, each with their own interests and influence, making international cooperation more important than ever. Cooperation among all major players, whether regional powers or global stakeholders, is the only way forward. Only through joint efforts can lasting peace and security be achieved on the Korean Peninsula. The stakes extend far beyond the peninsula, affecting the entire region and even the world. The outcome of these diplomatic efforts will shape the future of Northeast Asia for generations to come. South Korea's new government is taking real steps to rebuild trust with the North. President Lee has halted border propaganda broadcasts, signaling a desire to end provocations. The goal: create a positive atmosphere and get North Korea talking again. The previous hardline approach failed, and now dialogue without preconditions is the priority. South Korea knows denuclearisation won't happen overnight, but managing the crisis starts with communication. Building trust step by step is the only way to a stable and peaceful future. The window for a peaceful solution is closing fast. North Korea's nuclear advances add urgency. Every day without dialogue increases the risk. The diplomatic stalemate is dangerous, but South Korea's phased approach offers a realistic way forward. Experts warn this may be the last real chance for peaceful resolution. The world stands at a crossroads, shifting alliances, advancing technology, and a rare opportunity for high-level talks. Reviving dialogue is the only way to de-escalate and prevent irreversible crisis. This is a call for bold, flexible leadership and global support for diplomacy. The time to act is now, before it's too late. The Korean story is one of resilience, hope, and the longing for peace. A stable peninsula means safety for Koreans and for the world. Peace would reduce the risk of conflict and nuclear proliferation, opening doors for cooperation and travel. South Korea's pragmatic approach offers a real chance for change. The journey will be long, but every step toward dialogue matters. Supporting diplomatic efforts shows the world cares about a peaceful outcome. Even small steps can lead to a brighter, safer future for Korea and beyond. For the first time in years, the horizon looks a little more hopeful.